We're down here at Cawood in North Yorkshire. It is the 2nd of April and we're stood in a strip of October drilled X-days, drilled on the 5th of October, and I'm here with Fiona Burnett from the SRUC. Do you think this is kind of what you expected to see when you came here this morning, or are you, given the dry weather we've had, has that played a part?
Pretty much. I mean, these are a little more advanced than the ones I'm seeing in Scotland at the minute, and there's a little bit more disease, but not desperately. So, yeah, winter wheat crops across the country are really looking nice, and the dry weather has probably been helpful at keeping disease levels fairly low.
Yeah, no, I think in this area we're generally seeing everything's looking pretty well. I would say if you look back to the back end of last year, in this area we probably have the 2 distinct drilling dates. We probably have, September, everyone got on and got stuff in the ground. Then we had a bit of rain and a bit of wet weather. And then we came into November and luckily it was a dry month and everyone got caught up at that point. So taking those 2 distinct drilling dates into account, how do you think you would tailor your fungicide programme to suit those?
So it's a good point that people were able to drill for a nice long window last year, so that range is there. So those early ones do carry more disease risk and might also be more advanced now. So that kind of tailoring your inputs to that risk is really key. And the later drilled ones are maybe carrying a bit less disease at the moment. But yeah, absolutely, that tends to be the biggest difference at this time of year to the disease that we're seeing is that drilling date.
So with the site we're at now, if you've not had anything sprayed yet, hopefully they're going to go get sprayed tomorrow. Do you think with a sort of 3-week gap is, 3.5 week gap towards T1 is a good?
It's what we always aspire to, but that kind of trying to not think too much about the weeks and actually look, it is a fiddle when it's young crop like this to peel back leaves, but that kind of ability to be really sure that you're getting leaf 3, it's quite an old message now, people know it, but yeah, try and target it to the leaf rather than the calendar. Yeah,
so obviously with this dry weather we've experienced past months, do you think there's temptation for some people to skip a T0 or give it a miss?
Yeah, and that's fine, because I don't think T0 should be ubiquitous across all crops. So those later drilled ones that you mentioned, the ones that don't have yellow rust, the ones that are really quite clean, these are ones that you can think carefully about whether you can get round in good time at T1 and maybe omit a T0. But yeah, where you see yellow rust, where you've got a big acreage or where disease levels are high, then that T0 is helpful in managing.
Yeah, and obviously just thinking towards T1 in terms of options, so you're thinking about Septoria and yellow rust as always, but I guess there's always the threat of brown rust sort of bubbling away in the background. So in terms of options, where do you think we're looking this year? You think it's obviously from Bayer's portfolio, the Iblon range, but they've also got the Astra as well. How do you think they would fit into a programme?
So starting with that, yes, the sort of range of possible diseases you might have, I would add ice-pot into that list that you just gave. So yes, you're aiming at quite a number of diseases, and there's a lot of the season ahead of you to not leave gaps. So yes, you want something that manages all your risks. And yes, some of the broad spectrum chemistry is helpful. And again, the kind of mixing an azole with an SDHI brings you a broader spectrum and builds in a bit of resistance management too. So it's a good approach on, when crops look good like this and disease is nicely manageable, that's a sort of steady as you go approach.
Yeah, no, I think generally speaking up in this part of the world where, especially back of last year, in a lot better position, which isn't difficult.
Yeah, no, the memory of last year is very fresh.
It's very raw in a lot of people's minds, I think, and I think going back in last year, people didn't really bitten twice by the weather, so everyone got on, and it's all looking fairly positive.
Yeah, no, it's another reason to try and cover all your bases, because we don't know what the weather ahead of us is going to do.
Exactly. So we look I think you might have already mentioned it, but if the weather does break and we have a wet April, would you attempt to go on sort of stronger chemistry route?
Yeah, So we talked, I mean, I like the idea that you plan the kind of framework of your programme, but absolutely as you go through the season, you're reacting to the weather, how that drives the disease that you're seeing, how it affects the timing of your sprays. That would be another reason you might have to adjust. So yeah, we kind of start with that perfect script, but you know, already when it's dry, people are saying they would like a little bit of rain. We just don't want too much.